Something hasn't felt right with this coronavirus pandemic from the beginning. I know you know what I'm talking about. Something has felt off from the very beginning. It didn't make sense. Everything didn't make sense. Our steps didn't make sense. Don't get me wrong, a virus coming from China, intentionally or otherwise, that kills people, that makes sense. Viruses pop up in other parts of the world, sometimes created, sometimes just in nature. So that part of it makes sense. China lying about the virus makes total sense. That's what commies do. Commies lie because commies are disgusting. All that made sense. I'm not talking about that. But the response by the Western world didn't make sense. It was never something I could wrap my arm around. I just didn't. Wait a minute. Wait, what? We're doing what now? We're locking down? We're locking down, but we're also spending more money than we've ever spent before, and everyone has to lock down, but the politicians aren't locking down. And I mean, these people are caught at this party, and these people were in this salon, and these people are in this private jet, but they're telling you and I, it's just nothing ever made total sense about it. Honestly, what it looked like, and I understand why there are people out there who call it a plandemic. It looked intentional. All this stuff looked intentional. And I don't know that I'm going to go there. I don't know that I'm going to go that our response was an intentional thing to gain power from the very beginning. But I will tell you this, and I am entirely convinced of this. I believe that virus came from China. I do believe that at first it caught people off guard. And I believe it took the powers that be in the West about 15 seconds to realize they could use this virus to gain more power and control than they've ever had before. It's not as if, never let a good crisis go to waste. Rahm Emanuel said that. It's not as if that's some kind of new concept. In the history of mankind, people have always used a crisis to gain power, to gain money. What's that old saying? When there's blood on the street, buy property. This is a saying as old as time. This is not something new. But I think the powers that be in this world viewed this whole thing as an opportunity. And that's why you're seeing so many of the things you're seeing. And that's why when people talk about the Great Reset, I give some credence to it. I mean, you remember the Great Reset. You know Klaus Schwab? He was that German engineer and economist. He's the founder and executive chairman of the World Economic Forum. He had this to say. The pandemic represents a rare but narrow window of opportunity to reflect, reimagine, and reset our world. Reset the world. Did your world need reset? My world didn't need reset. My world was doing just fine pre-coronavirus. It had its ups and downs, obviously, because I am what I am, but I didn't need reset. People weren't asking to be reset. I think the West, especially the super, super wealthy, super powerful, the wired-in people, the politicians, I think they constantly look at the freedoms the people have in the West, and I think they resent them. I think they resent the fact that they don't have the power of some Chinese dictator to determine every part of people's lives. I don't think the leaders of the West look at Western freedoms and say to themselves, nice, this is exactly the way it's supposed to be. I think they look at your freedom and my freedom and they say to themselves, that sucks. I wish they didn't have so much freedom. If I could just control them. If I could just be the one in charge, be the one calling all the shots, well, then it would all be fine. Then it would all be fine. I can improve these things. I can stop climate change. I can provide more equality out there. I can solve racism. I can do all these things. These idiot rubes can't do it. I could do it, but the problem is I don't have enough control. And I think very, very early on, they looked at this coronavirus and they said to themselves, we may have something here. Hey, thanks so much for watching The First on YouTube. If you liked what you saw, go ahead and like and subscribe. You heard me. Like it, subscribe. You'll get a lot more of it and a lot more of me.